Okay, so this is just a little update on how I'm doing, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good for me. My kidney function is at 19%, and it's dropping. So I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do. Uh, I haven't made any decisions yet. Doctors are leaning on me to get the dialysis, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm in this weird place where it kind of feels like nothing that I ever did really ever mattered. Like none of the things I accomplished, all of the trials that I've been through, all of the chemotherapy and all those blood transfusions and all that stuff, the anemia, all the sickness, all the illness that I went through with HLH, none of that mattered. Like none of that mattered because it all turned into this. Like complete kidney failure. And now I'm going to have to go on dialysis and I'm going to have to be on all these drugs and I'm going to have to do all of this stuff. That's an option. I haven't made any decisions yet, but you know, in retrospect, it feels like did anything that I ever do in my life even really mean anything? You know, did I mean anything? You know what is the weirdest sensation is that I feel kind of empty. You know, like I want to do stuff, but then the realization of what's happening to me comes back. And it's like, well, what's the point of doing that when it's not going to matter? You know, what's the point of doing this when it's not going to matter and I don't really get any fulfillment out of doing anything? So I just sort of do stuff just for the formality of it. But these things are always in the forefront of my mind of like kidney failure, dialysis, and let's just cut the bullshit here and just get straight to the chase. Death. You know? It's difficult to explain here. I've never really been the kind of person that's always been afraid of dying. You know, honestly, I've kind of been ready for it for a long time now. You know, like I've never really felt like I've ever really fit anywhere with anybody under any circumstances. You know, I'm very much a contradiction to a lot of things. And you know what, and you watching this video on the other side of this camera, you can't tell, but I actually spend most of my time by myself. Just because I can't make those connections with people. Just because I have chosen not to make those connections with people. Because of my own beliefs and how I am in relation to other people. You know, this is not a be begging for help or, you know, please be friends with me, or it's not anything like that. It's just omission. That's what this is. But, you know, I just the empty feeling is really what I feel right now. And the thing is that I'm not even really sad about it. That's the craziest thing, is that you would have some people that would be so broken up about this because they just want to live so badly, but I don't feel that way. You know? It's like, all right, man, you know, because this happens to me so frequently and so often, these misfortunes of me going from one bad thing to another, like with I've had Steven Johnson syndrome. For those of you who don't know what that is, you know, do your due diligence and look it up. From that to HLH to this kidney failure, and it's just one thing after another. You know, the HLH led directly into this. And it's so many bad things can only happen to you so many times, and you can only have so many emotional responses to them, to the point where you just become numb to it and you just don't care anymore. And it's just like, okay, man, like, of course I have kidney disease, because of course I do. You know, of course my kidneys are failing, because of course they are. Like, of course I catch this rare disease, because of course I do. You know, because I'm Carl, and that's what Carl does. I get these things. You know, I'm an outcast. I'm just that guy that you could be in a room. I could be in a room with just one other person and still not be noticed. Not that I'm saying that I want to be, but it's just I have a natural affinity to just be a ghost. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. But I'm just giving people a little update on what's going on with me. For anybody that's ever reached out to me, you know, I really do appreciate it. I'm not trying to blow you off for being an asshole. It's just a really I don't know what to tell people, you know, and I don't want to get the same thing I always get when people find out something terrible like this, of just like, yeah, man, you're just gonna make it through, and just you're gonna get through this and everything's gonna be fine, because I'm realistic, you know? Like, man, there's no scenario where I feel like I can beat this. You know, like, I think that I finally met my match here. You know, there's no scenario in which I succeed. You know, with the HLH, I thought I'd beat that. And I didn't. I didn't beat it at all. I didn't even get close, you know. So everything that I did up until that point with that, with the chemo and everything, it just didn't matter. Because I'm probably going to fucking die anyway. Unless I get a transplant. And there's all these unknowns to it of how long that's going to take. Can I find a donor? You know, is anybody in my family a match? How long am I going to be on dialysis before I get the match? You know, I've never had the bone marrow transplant, so I still have HLH. So it could come back. It's a lose-lose situation for me. And this is not me feeling sorry for myself or anything like that. That's not what this is. It's just, this is just what the facts are. This is it. You know, and I hate to use this expression because it's such a played out expression and it's such a lazy way to explain things, but it is what it is. And I hate that expression because it's lazy. But this is just what it is. You know, I'm in a very, very bad situation right now, and it's not looking great for me. So it would be foolish of me to pretend like things are going great when they clearly are not. You know, I'm in a really bad situation here. And that's just what it is. So I don't really know what to do from here. I really don't. You know, I'm constantly worrying about it. I don't even know what I've decided to do with the dialysis. Do I do it? Do I don't do it? If I do it, then my quality of life is going to go down. I'm going to be miserable. But if I don't do it, that's death. Bottom line, like, that's death. If I don't do the dialysis, I'm going to die. But if I do the dialysis, I could die from that. You know, it's not the dialysis that kills you. It's it's other factors that go into it, infection, things like that. That stuff like that is what kills you on dialysis. You know, and I don't know if my youth can hold up. You know, I'm only 35. And I don't know if my youth can hold up to that. The only thing that's really keeping me going right now is because I'm kind of young. If I were older, that would have been all she wrote for me, you know. But it's difficult because it's like, man, on one hand, it's like I don't want to take my family through the burden of me just becoming some invalid that they got to take care of, that people feel sorry for. But at the same time, it's like, man, I'm just ready to be done. Like, I feel like I've done enough. I've tried real hard. I feel like I feel like I'm just done. I've done enough. You know, I've accomplished all of the things that I feel like I personally wanted to accomplish. You know, I'm not a terribly ambitious person. So I think that's it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, if it's over, then, you know, I did all right. You know, never made a dime, never established any sort of deep, meaningful relationships with anybody, least of all women, whatever. But you know what, man? I did things the way I wanted to do them. You know, I lived life my way for the most part, and that's all I can really, you know, that's all I can really do. You know, I got dealt a bad hand here, so that's just what it is. But that's sort of an update. If you've gotten this far in the video, I want to say thank you. I really appreciate you listening to all of this rambling, because I know that, you know, most people have like really short attention spans. If it's not within a minute, then it doesn't matter. You know, people get bored and they want to switch off. But if you've gotten this far, thank you. I really appreciate it. And that's it. Thanks a lot. See you guys in the next video.